Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Chris Price before the inaugural Sean O'Brien 50 mile. How you doing?
Great. How you doing, Brian?
All right. You just took me out for a great run here in the San Gabriels.
Yeah.
Not quite on the course, but beautiful Southern California.
Yeah, nice little steep climb in the heat.
Yeah, there'll be some of those this weekend too, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
To kick things off, tell us a little bit about the course out here.
Well, I think it's going to be a fast course, but a difficult course at the same time. Not too different from like Leona Divide and North Face. A little more climbing than Leona. Maybe a little more technical than North Face and some of the single track. Yeah.
So, what do you think the winners come in at? Like 6.5, 7?
No, I'm going to say, let's see, Debo or Vargo in 6:18.
6:18.
Yeah, there's some long downhill fire roads where they're just going to be laying down like sub 5-minute miles maybe.
Is he going to tempt some people? Are there any long downhills early, or anyone going to be tempted to take it out?
No, there's maybe a mile or so where it's just kind of flat and gradual in the beginning, and then there's a good steep, like 3 or 4 mile climb, 500 to 700 feet of climbing per mile.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll keep people kind of going out a little slower.
Is there any point, 25, 30 miles in the race that's kind of could be a defining point where somebody gets broken or breaks someone else?
Well, the course is generally kind of like a big lollipop.
Okay.
And at the bottom of the big loop is the lowest point of the course. Climbing up from there, it's, I don't know, like a 3-mile climb and a little dip down and another like 4-mile climb up.
So is that the corral area?
It's coming up from near Zuma Beach.
Okay.
I think it's called like Bonsai Aid Station. Back up to Canaan. And I think that's really going to be where the pack thins out a lot. I think it's going to go from like 12 guys to 4 maybe.
Real quick.
Yeah, that climb is really going to separate the men from the boys.
And a lot of us, not you, are coming from cooler weather climbs this time of year. When's it start heating up out here? 6 a.m. start. When's the 10 o'clock?
We're right by the coast, so I don't think it'll get too hot,
Okay.
unfortunately. I was really hoping for a scorcher, just being from here and how hot it's been lately. But yeah, I think like 10 or 11. Again, on that long climb, like it's a fire road. It's really exposed. Beautiful ocean views, but it'll get hot.
Yeah. So you have run some really good results. You've won Angeles Crest. You've been 4th at Hard Rock last year. You've only been running since 2009. How did you start running? And how did you start trail running and ultra running? Why are you out here?
Well, a good buddy of mine, Pat Clark, talked me into a half marathon. I did it and said, I feel horrible. I'm never doing that again. But I was like, my dad ran a marathon, so I have to do one. And I was like, I have to beat his time. Then during marathon training, just ran into a guy on the trails. Like, I'm doing Leona Divide, a 50-mile trail race. I was like, cool. So I just went home, signed up.
So your first 50 was how long after your first half marathon?
I think it was like a year or so.
So a little bit of time.
Yeah, I got some training in.
And then you were going to move to Colorado.
Yeah.
You're going to move from SoCal to Colorado, maybe a Front Range guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're a pediatric nurse?
Correct, yeah, in the ICU.
So a buddy was testing out a new machine and threw you in the... get a scan.
My wife last, July, I guess. We're all set up to move over to Golden, Colorado. And it was a couple days after running Angeles Crest 100, and I was at work.
You won Angeles Crest. It was a couple days later.
Yep. I took a patient down for an MRI, and the technician said, hey, we have a new MRI machine. We're asking staff to volunteer. I was like, cool, I'll come back on my lunch, get an MRI of my brain. And while I was in there, we noticed there's a nice tumor sitting right on top of my brain. I think you can kind of see the scar.
Yeah.
It was kind of growing out about it, yeah. So a couple months later, had it taken out, but definitely put our moving plans on hold and just stayed put.
And life plans and...
Yeah, but it was a pretty minor surgery. It's called a meningioma. You don't have to go like inside the brain. It was real quick and uneventful. And
when you first heard the news, though, pretty darn scary.
Yeah, because you didn't know if it's cancerous or benign. So
sort of a scary situation, but one that you could recover from pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And you were back out racing this spring, right?
Yeah.
Not how long after surgery?
Let's see. Surgery's in September. I think February I ran a race. So 5 months later.
Did you run Ray Miller last year?
Yeah, Ray Miller, just the 50K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you win that or
No, I got second.
second?
Who was it? I got smoked. I set the new course record. I can't remember his name. From Colorado. Yeah.
But you're out here this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Only just over 4 years into your running career. Ready to mix it up with the big dogs.
Yeah.
You also have some been around the scene long enough to know who's there. Who do you think is going to be up at the front come the end of the day?
Yeah, I think obvious front contenders are going to be Dylan Bowman, Chris Fargo, Mike Wolf, Timmy Olsen maybe. He's been running around here like crazy lately, not really tapering, kind of more like a long training run, but he's going to get caught up in the excitement, I think, and he's just so talented. He'll still run really well even if it's not an A race. And then Jason Wolf, Josh Brimhall, Mike Eisch, Chris Wehan, Jared Dean.
So Chris, you know Chris?
No.
Okay,
not really.
I just know if you knew. He's from the area, I think.
Oh.
But he also signed up for Rocky Raccoon.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Well,
so I don't know which race he's running.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, there's the 30-hour cutoff at Rocky. I guess you could fly back.
Technically, yeah.
Somebody should try that next year.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
So you are going back to Angeles Crest.
Yeah.
So you're probably not specifically shooting for a Western States slot, right? The Ultra Cup.
No, it's not my main goal with this race.
But if
I'd take it if
you
I
would.
did. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm also signed up for San Juan Solstice, which I love that area, the San Juans. After being at Hard Rock last year, but I'd probably take the States ticket if I won it. I think it's outside shot for me, but no, I don't know.
That's not goal number one this weekend.
I want to race the best I can.
Exactly.
So if I got fourth place, I'd be stoked with that in this field, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, best of luck and
thanks, Brien.
have fun out there.
I appreciate it.
Sort of hometown trails.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll come to my advantage.
Yeah.
I'll help out.